Wow.
Howdy, guys.
Okay. All right. I see that there's some more people coming in. Hello. Oh, wait. All right. So good morning, you guys. I hope everyone is doing well today. We have quite a few people that are still entering. So I'm going to give it just a moment to kind of allow everyone else to kind of enter. All right. So it seems that we have a sizable group. I would like to personally thank you all for coming in today for the Creative Con and to hear this particular lecture. My name is Shalisha Bynoe, and this is the art of screenwriting, character development, and plot perfection. Okay. All right. Oh, more people. Okay, so let me get this started. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Shalisha Bynoe. I'm a published author, screenwriter, and teacher. I received an MFA in creative writing, a BFA in digital cinematography from Full Sail University, and I'm currently a student practicing theater practices at Regent University. Okay, some of my specific accomplishments include publishing 4 books and creating 5 feature-length films. I've worked on sets such as Barbershop 3 or Eyes on Me and others. When I'm not writing or filming, I'm teaching and empowering today's youth. I do this by educating them on the importance of history, art, and of course, the performing arts. Okay. All right, so we're moving down straight into it. So our objective for today is to learn more about character development, plot perfection, and Line and Synopsis. What is it and why it's important, okay? All right, so, you can't enter, as they say, you can't enter the game without knowing exactly what it is. So what is screenwriting? Screenwriting hones in on the art of creating stories for film, television, and video games. Okay, concepts can be created from the ground up and formatted into scripts, but alternatively, you can take poems, short stories, novels, and comic books and convert them into screenplays. Okay, so in short, writers who are interested in becoming screenwriters must be aware of the various types of creative writing and how to properly structuralize and convert it, okay, to this particular medium. Okay. So let's take a look at the contrast between a screenplay, theater play format. There's a reason why it's important to know that difference, because you have a lot of playwrights or a lot of authors who say to themselves, yeah, I could do screenwriting too. No, man, it's a whole different format. And if you don't know it and if you don't use it properly, then when you try to get a producer or investor to look at it, he'll know that there's flaws inside your script, and guess what? He won't take it. All right, so moving down, let's look at those differences, okay? As you can see, your eyes are just drawn in by the typography itself, right? Because there is a very different contrast, okay? First and foremost, when you look at a theater play, they go straight into scenes. They're describing everything that is kind of happening. And then there is more emphasis placed on character dialogue, okay? But if you look more to the left with screenwriting, what do they focus on? They focus on the action. Your eyes are drawn to the action. It is more about what is shown. Is dialogue important? Yes, but there is more emphasis when it comes to screenplay writing to focus on that action. What is occurring? What can the audience see? And how can they internalize that? Okay. So remember, theater plays are driven by acts and by dialogue. Okay, it focuses on what the audience hears. Screenplays are driven by action. It isn't about narrating things for your characters like, oh yeah, she feels in love. No, it is about the action and showing things that are occurring with characters within the scene, okay? And remember that theater plays have a limit to acts and characters due to budget, okay? All right, so we got people coming in. Oh my God. Okay, so now we are on to character development. Now, every person believes in their minds that they have got character development packed down, but there's a lot more to it than most people know. It is about breaking down the psychology of the individual and truly giving them humanistic qualities, okay? Character development is the process of creating characters that contain unique personalities, backstories, and qualities. They must be creative, complicated, and have challenges that must be conquered, okay? You have to make your characters, contain a sense of depth, okay? Like three-dimensional depth, like people. Okay, characters should always have a backstory that includes interests, friendships, love interests, interior and exterior goals. Characters must be complex, containing their own sense of individuality, emotional states, and embark on a mission that is engaging and thought-provoking. Okay, and they must always have some form of resolve. Okay, it doesn't matter if you do a sequel, they have to have some form of resolve at the end of their journey in the first story. Okay, always remember to ask yourself how the character changes physically, mentally, intellectually during the story. Ask yourself if their arc, which is their change in the script, is fulfilling to the audience. Okay. If anyone has ever seen the Game of Thrones, which to me is the grandest depiction of grand storytelling, okay? The ending was very disappointing. It had so many people upset and in their feelings. Remember, as you write your script, you want to satisfy the audience. If not, you may get death threats in the mailbox. Okay, moving on. Okay, so now we're looking at the character development sheet, okay? These are just a few questions that you can ask yourself as you begin to break down every aspect of your characters, okay? What's the first name, the last name, the nickname? How do they look? Are they fat? Are they short? Are they tall? Are they dark? Are they light? What is their race, their gender? All these things matter as you construct your characters, okay? Personality, are they optimistic or pessimistic? Are they introvert or extroverted? Does your character have bad habits? Okay, what are their flaws? What are their strengths? Okay, who are their friends and family? Who are they screwing? I mean, who do they love? You know, things of that nature is very, very important to add into your character development, okay? And this way you eliminate questions, okay, about your character, where they're going and what their mission is in the story, okay? All right, and here's another set of questions you can ask. And here's another thing too. Some people believe that character backstories aren't important. So they'll just focus on the present. Oh yeah, she's a hardworking businesswoman who hails from the land of Miami. But it's very important, okay, to add a backstory. How was that person's childhood? Okay. Who are the parents? How did these parents treat them? Okay, now this is an aspect of character development that the audience doesn't see, but as with regular people, it does impact the direction of the story. So it's very important to not neglect these little details, because if you do, guess what? You're gonna have to go back again and redo it, okay? Or the audience will notice that there are little bits in your story that need to be strengthened or changed, okay? All right, so that's that. And here is another section. Remember, if there are flaws in your ability to create characters, there will be flaws in your outline, okay? If there are flaws in your outline, then there'll be flaws in your script, okay? If there are flaws in your script, the audience will question your work and lose interest in what you have created. Why should we care about this? The character lacks depth, imagination, they are flat. So when a character is flat, people are not interested in watching your work, despite how much faith you may have in it. Unfortunately, that is just the way it works. And all aspects of screenwriting is connected. So that means if one element is off, then you're going to have trouble when structuralizing and placing together your story, okay? All right, so we're moseying down here to plot perfection, Okay, so for those of you who are already writers, you know what plot is. It is a series or sequence of events that occur to create a story. It is the structure of your story. A plot must contain a journey, a conflict, or a challenge. At the end of that conflict, there must be a resolve or solution for the main character, which is the protagonist. Plots can have a happy or unhappy ending. At the beginning of a story, there's a question that sets the character onto their journey. Fate and progress helps to answer that question, okay? A plot connects a sequence of events, reveals relationships, and when placed together, works in perfect harmony, okay? Now, here's an interesting tip when creating a plot. You can consider two different types of structures. One is the hero's journey, okay, which I believe was made by Joseph Campbell, and it contains 12 steps to help you to structuralize your screenplay. But remember this, as you do it, it is merely a guideline, okay, to help you to go through the process of writing. Okay, so use it as a mere guideline. Alternatively, you can use the 3-act structure. Now, some of you may be wondering, oh, well, or saying, I've heard of that, right? But believe it or not, the 3-act structure is not just used with scripts and things of that nature. It's also used with short stories and novel writing and things of that nature. And interesting enough, it was actually created by Aristotle back in ancient times. Yeah. And it pretty much just states that a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay. So that's usually the method that everyone uses at the beginning because it's less complex, you know? All right, sir, down I go. All right, so this is the hero's journey, the 12 steps. All right, due to our time, I don't want to go too much into it, but it begins with the ordinary world, okay? And that's where the hero is in his regular setting and everything appears to be normal. So it's pretty much bringing the viewer into this character's life, okay? The call to adventure. Now, this particular section is when the character is called to action by, for something. So maybe it's to fight some goblins, maybe it's to go on a road trip, but it has to be something. And then right after that is a refusal of the call. Okay, this is when the protagonist of the script or film turns around and says, no, I can't possibly do that. Okay, number 4, the 4th step is meeting with a mentor. And that's pretty much a character is introduced to help that particular character to continue on their journey, okay, wherever that is. All right, and then 5, crossing the first threshold. The protagonist finally commits to the journey and takes the first steps towards the world of the unknown. So that's when the journey actually physically begins. Tests, allies, and enemies is pretty much, clean cut. That's when the protagonist meets various characters and has different experiences, okay? Now, during that experience, they're going to meet people who try to help them along the way on their journey, and we also get to see or get a look at maybe like an anti-hero or protagonist, okay, which is the villain. All right, so approaching to the innermost cave is when, sorry, it's so much. When the hero comes to the edge of a dangerous place where the goal of the quest is near, but still not yet within reach. So this is when they're entering those challenges, okay? And then you go into detail about those challenges. The Supreme Ordeal is when the hero is faced with direct confrontation from the greatest fear, or of course, the antagonist, okay? It is the final face-to-face that can lead to the protagonist's death. Now, in this particular case, again, I say it again, it's all about looking at it as a guideline. You tweak it and, I'll put it like this. Writing is like clay. You form it into what you want it to be, but again, these steps will help you along the way to properly keeping it structuralized, okay? And then you have number 9, the reward. The hero celebrates the fact that he or she has survived some sort of sudden death or extreme challenge and takes possession of what they're seeking, okay? Whether it's revenge, the destruction of evil, whatever the case may be. Number 10 is the road back. The hero deals with the consequences of confronting those issues and challenges. 11, Resurrection and Rebirth, which is also known as the threshold. Okay, so the protagonist may have been on the brink of death, but now returns back to the ordinary life. Okay, and now this is when we really get to see details of that arc, that change. We begin to see a transformation in their personality and, of course, their life. Okay, and then number 12, return with elixir, the freedom to live. The elixir may be the treasure, the reward, whatever it is that they have acquired. Okay, and remember that if it isn't brought back to the ordinary world from the previous innermost cave, which I believe was further up, number 7, okay, the hero is doomed to repeat the same adventure if there is a sequel. Okay, so this is the structure that screenwriters usually use: the hero's journey and the 3-act structure. Okay, the 3-act structure is less complicated, but with this, again, if you go through those steps and you really follow it, you can truly create a very compelling script. Okay, all right, down I go. And so now we're on to logline and synopsis. Okay, this is the thing that screenwriters struggle with the most. Okay, summarizing their work in as little words as possible and trying to keep it as engaging as possible. Okay, a logline is a brief summary of your screenplay. It is usually written in 1 to 2 sentences. Okay, it must contain main characters, inciting incidences, which is an event that sets the protagonist on the journey, the goal and conflict or challenge within the story. Okay, remember that it must be conveyed in a very engaging style. It has to be something that catches interest. If it is flat, people will depict your work as being flat. Okay, and remember that a synopsis is a brief summary of your screenplay. Okay, it's less than a page. You know, some people can get really funky when they get into writing. They want to describe every detail and things like that. But remember that the synopsis is supposed to be kept short and sweet. Okay, and it's usually used to gain the attention of potential investors. Okay. So remember that when you go into the process of creating your synopsis, okay, you are giving information about characters, and you're also giving information about your most interesting plot points. Okay. Now, as you go through this process, remember that, you know, as a writer, you should glean upon things that inspire you. You should glean upon things that you see in reality, and you take that and you throw it into your work itself to make it as realistic and as vivid as possible, vivid and as imaginative as possible. And also never be afraid to use a dictionary. Doesn't make you sound slow, doesn't make you sound like a white woman, as I was told once. What it does make you sound like is a person who is experienced, skilled, and ready to be an avid researcher for your work. All right, down I go. All right, logline format sample. So take a look at this sample right here. Okay, so when the inciting incident happens, okay, our protagonist, which is the main character, decides to do against the antagonist. So that is usually the way that it goes in regards to creating a logline. Okay, now remember, this is merely a guideline. You can actually tweak and turn this any way that you like, as long as you create something that truly catches the eye and truly draws the eye of potential investors or readers. Okay, now we're going further down. Now, as you take a look at this, which is, you guys are very familiar with this, I'm sure. The aging patriarch of an organized crime dynasty transfers control of his clandestine empire to his reluctant son, okay? Now, that particular logline is for The Godfather, okay? Here's another one. The computer hacker learns from mysterious rebels about the true nature of his reality and his role in the war against controllers. Okay, that comes from The Matrix. Okay, these are legendary stories, and just based on these log lines, somebody became very interested in the materials or the manuscript per se. All right, further down the rabbit hole we go. Now, this is actually pretty huge, and I'm not sure how to minimize my screen to kind of show it to you guys. But this is actually a sample log line, okay, for a very popular film, okay? But as you can see, this person, even though we can't look at all the details in this one session, this particular person took so much time out to really break down plot points and also to kind of describe the character, Danny Caffey, an inexperienced US Navy lawyer. You know, that says a lot, okay? So remember, again, to really focus on that character development and really give your characters life. You won't regret it later on, okay? And that was from A Few Good Men, okay? So here are some additional resources for you guys. You can take a picture of it if you like, on some books that and websites that may help you along your journey to creating log lines and synopsises and breaking down your characters and just overall learning more about screenwriting, okay? So that's pretty much it for my presentation. So take a quick picture of this, and then from there, the last slide will just give you my information if you're interested in connecting, okay? All right, so does anyone have any questions for me? Oh, wow, no questions? Oh my God. All right, no questions at all?
I have a question.
Yes, what is your question?
So when you I know you said like the way you write screenplays. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, when you write screenplays and theater plays are different, but when you're developing characters, should they be different?
In my opinion, here's what I'll tell you in regards to creating your characters. All of your characters should contain unique qualities. So they all should be different. They all should have some sort of goal, and that goal should align with the protagonist, okay? So as you create your characters, think of it as a grand waltz and all the characters are intertwined, okay? And hopefully that will be helpful for you along your journey to developing your characters. You know, be as descriptive as possible, humanize them. You know, how do they look? How do they feel? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What are their hobbies? Who are they sleeping with? Who do they hate? Who do they love? All of those things matter. Any other questions? Oh my God, no questions. Come on, people. Oh, wait. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, you're welcome, Raquel. Thank you so much. Do you have any methods for character development, sticky notes or storyboards, etc.? So methods for creating for character development. There are many ways that you can do it, Alicia. You can actually create a graphic organizer, which is pretty much a visual representation of your characters. And you can do that through sites like it's like a form of mind mapping. I may be wrong, but I believe Prezi actually does that. You can use sticky notes to keep your characters and personalities organized. I personally use Microsoft Word, and I just go through it. I flesh it out. I ask myself questions that the audience may ask, and I try to answer it, you know, so that when I create the screenplay, no one has any questions about who the character is, what they're doing, what they like, and what their challenge is. Okay, so Kyra, can you show the previous slide with resources? Sure. Guys, take a picture of this if you can. And this book is very popular, Save the Cat, the last book on screenwriting you'll ever need. It's on Kindle, it's on Amazon. You may also find it through other sites as well, so. All right, any other questions for me? Comments? All right, well, okay, so take a picture of this, and yeah, I guess that's it for this particular section. And I just want to personally thank you all for coming in. and being willing to kind of sit through this, you know, this particular lecture for the Creative Con. I guess that's basically it. Thank you guys so very much. And remember that if you have any questions or comments or concerns after this particular, this particular lecture, you can reach out to me through my contact information that I just submitted. What's the most important piece of advice that you would give to new writers? Here's the best piece of advice I can give you. No matter what, focus on.
Shalisha,
oh, thank you so much. Yes.
did you answer the questions in the chat room?
Yes, I'm answering right now.
Okay. Just
Okay,
making sure.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So the most important piece of advice for new writers is no matter what challenges you face in your life, okay, no matter that 9-to-5 job that totally strangles your creativity, never give up, okay? And always be willing to go out and seek wisdom, you know, when it comes to writing. A lot of people say I'm a writer, but they lack the knowledge, they lack the experience or the skills. Okay, so you have to be able to research these things and put them into practice. Okay, if you write at least 1 to 2 hours a day and you do that for a year, you have a finished work. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much. I'm glad it's helpful for you. I love writing, I love film, I'm very passionate about it. Okay. And I just want to let you guys know that I will begin teaching a screenwriting series soon. It'll be called The Damsel's Guide to Screenwriting. Okay, so not only will you be studying, you'll be sipping some margaritas, learning about new cocktails, and going through the process of screenwriting. So for those of you who are interested in that, that will be coming soon, okay? What are some scripts that you recommend reading? To be honest with you, when you're just starting out, any script that is well known, like for example, The Godfather, Aliens, you know, I would recommend you taking a moment to look at those scripts. You know, study the formatting, study the dialogue, which is very important. If you have terrible dialogue, it doesn't matter how good the story is. No one's gonna sit 2 hours and read or watch that, you know. So those are the things. Think of some of the movies that you love, right? And see whether or not you can find online those particular scripts. Study the format, the style, the action that is occurring, and perhaps it'll inspire you. Yeah. Any other questions? All right, so I guess that's it. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for coming in, and I'll see you next time, okay? All right, you guys. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, what a beautiful day. Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to know you all and meet you. Thank you.
And Shalisha, with you being the host, you just select end meeting or leave meeting, and then it'll cut off.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's been such a trip. I appreciate this. It was great.
It was. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you have a great breakfast, and I'll get back working on some scripts then.
All right. Same here. Thank you, Mama.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.